of the episode.
You can't resist.
It feels so relieving,
Nah, I think that's
like especially the one where they put the strap around your neck and they pull out your spine. Oh,
I never did that.
but you can't
that
hear
shit
far.
looks so good.
Yeah.
I've
You
never.
won't rub it on the tape.
Yo, we.
You had a flashback.
That's my ASMR, yo.
I don't know what they talking about. You just said that's ASMR.
I love that shit. What?
Yo, Nicki Minaj got a character in Call of Duty now.
She do? What?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a fucking it's like an AI character.
But
and
it's
they
like
say
Nicki?
some of her like shit.
What?
You know what it reminded me of? That new shit, the NPC shit. Thanks for the gummies. Thanks for the gummies.
One of those is.
That shit, yeah.
It probably
This
is.
this nerd, the funniest shit that I seen regarding that was this nerd, this black kid. He was dressed up like Miles Morales from Spider-Man. And he had a fro and shit. And it's just mad funny because he looked like him for real. But then the nigga, he was saying, "Ooh, thanks for the gummies." And somebody was like, "Yo, bro, don't fall into that." He's like, "Thanks for the gummies." He was like, "Yo, bro, what the fuck you talking about, son?" Talking mad shit to him like, "Yo, nigga, how about I knock you the fuck out then?" I'm like, "What?" Miles Morales wasn't like that.
For the gummies?
With great power comes great responsibility, Miles Morales.
What?
You know what I mean? You can't be out here trying to fight people because you doing your nerdy stuff. He was like, "Yo, I can't just do my nerdy stuff in peace." I was like, "You could do it in peace,
I do my
but somebody gonna say something." It's crazy because, yo, when we live in certain areas, like a lot of people be like, "Yo, like when you live here, they act like you're not supposed to do shit. Like, you can't skateboard if you live in the hood. Like, why not? You can't BMX if you live in the hood. Why not? You can't play hockey if you live in the hood. Why not? You know what I mean? It's not like written down, but these are like so-called hacked activities. You know what I mean? So if you're playing these so-called hacked activities, then people will be like, oh, he acting like a white boy. Or if you start talking like you a little bit articulate, just a tad. Just because you could say a 3-syllable word like articulate, you're white.
As if Caucasians are the only one that has intellect.
They're not the only people. Like, it's some dumbass white people. It's some smart ass black people. It's some dumbass Asians that don't know math. Oh my God, really? Yeah, motherfucker. It's some niggas that fuck your shit up all the time. You be like, damn, nigga, I told you. Don't that shit cost $250? Oh, outside. Yeah, motherfucker. You charge me extra money for some chicken. So some of you motherfuckers can't do math that good. But, respect, because I can't let them come at me for that. I just talked about black people, but whatever, that's okay. We can
you
talk
know how
about
black get.
But I don't know, this AI shit is crazy. Like, like the whole wave of AI technology and
no, I hope the cat didn't.
just this whole shit is just crazy to me. Like, mind you, I love tech. I love technology, but it's just like it's overwhelming.
She ain't like a dumb dog. She's not like a dumb dog. Only dogs do that dumb shit. They eat it first and ask questions later. Why'd you do that?
In the building.
Because I'm a dumb dog.
We in the building. It's another episode of Get Lifted.
Get Lifted.
30 is a new 20. It's your boy Smiley Jizzle. My man's
Chris O.D.
and our co-host, behind the scenes queen.
La_Hefa 06513.
You heard?
You guys heard it.
I'm on the move like I need a new hobby. Fucking 9 to 5.
We just want to kick it off. Like we got our first topic. I'm gonna let my boy eat. But the first topic we talking about Claressa Shields versus Leila Ali, right? And it's a crazy topic to discuss because we have yet to really have greatness rivaled in the opposite gender in boxing until now. Now we have an argument.
Until Leila.
Now we have an argument. So, without further ado, let's kick it off, man.
Hey. So first thing I want to say is
shouts out to Leila Ali. I'm pretty sure Leila Ali is probably or definitely
smoke weed every day.
Biggest influence as far as women in boxing.
Hey,
she was the highest caliber. You know what I'm saying?
Kill it.
That has to be. She strived to be her. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like when you strive to be like somebody, eventually you're gonna want to surpass that person. And that's how it's supposed to be. The teacher is supposed to pass on the skills to the next generation, and so they could be better than you. You see what I'm saying? And keep that shit going. And right now, me personally, I think because of all the accolades Claressa Shields has, and because of the accolades that Claressa Shields had and that Leila Ali doesn't have, as far as the belts for different divisions, I feel like she's the greatest women's boxer, all-around boxer, undisputed boxer, because of that. Anybody has a question?
Well, I don't know. I don't really watch boxing, but if Leila Ali was undefeated in her sector, in her weight class, but I think that if because what is the other lady named Claressa Shields, she was undefeated at in more than one weight class. That is a bigger accomplishment than just in your weight class. But because she never did it, we don't know who would be better, who or not, because she never tried it. But so that's something that I think they should go against each other. That would be a good matchup. Why not now? They're both old. Joe Budden was talking about that on his podcast. Shout out to JBP. He was like, Crawford. Who is the guy that lost? What's his name? Spence. They said, somebody on the podcast said that he looked like he was high. But when they were warming up, he wasn't even doing nothing. Crawford was hitting the bag and warming up and doing it. The other dude was just sitting there looking like he was just high, like he didn't even care.
I think that's the brain damage. I think, yeah, he got in a car accident, and because he was still whooping people, like he got out of that car accident and beat two of the top boxers in the sport. But I still feel like he shouldn't have gotten that ring with Terrence. I feel like he highly underestimated Terrence. He thought he could do even without the crash. I don't think he's as skillful as Terrence Crawford. It would have been a little bit closer, but it still would have been a loss. So, yeah.
So, all right. So two things. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I don't really have too much to say on that. Two of the best fighters in that weight division went against each other. And what happened. It was historical. And I think Errol Spence with more training would have a better fight. Could possibly beat him. It still went 9 rounds. You know what I mean? So he was good enough to stand in there with him, and it was stopped. Prematurely. I mean, but that is a good thing to do. Like, for the safety of the boxer, the ref did what they were supposed to do. You got to stop it. But he didn't have his hands up. So it's like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing here? Like, put your hands up. So even after that, taking the slugs, I would have put my hands up, after a while, you know what I mean? You took a few bops. Now put your hands up. He was like a sitting duck. You know what I mean? So it looked like he took a lot of wind out of him. It was just a really good fight, but it was one knockdown. That could be a little discouraging for a boxer. It was more than one knockdown prematurely. It was 4 knockdowns. He's saying 4 knockdowns. I didn't see the whole fight. I saw the end. He said it was 4 knockdowns throughout the fight. So obviously one fighter is at the prime of their career. The other fighter is not at the prime of his career at this point in time. You can tell from historically of how he handled himself in the ring before. The thing is, like, yeah, but it's different. It's different because you fighting somebody. But then that says, but that says a lot. Like, did he beat? No, but I'm saying he beat Pacquiao, right? Right. He beat Pacquiao when he was young. Okay, so that says a lot about that match. That says a whole lot. You beat a nigga that was old. That's what I'm looking at, right? So he beat Pacquiao in his prime. Pacquiao is old as fuck. So if he beat Pacquiao in his prime,
Pacquiao was not old in his prime, bro.
how old was Pacquiao in his prime? How old is this boxer? Like, all that. How old is this boxer? Because if he fought Pacquiao in his prime, that's what I'm going off of that. In the age difference between him and the boxer that he fought. But even still, like, nobody in the division is on the level that Terrence Crawford is. So it's like, yo, you fighting Terrence Crawford and you just had a car accident. I called it from the beginning. After that car accident, I'm like, yo, they can't fight the same year. He need a few years to prepare himself because this dude is a beast. There's no way he's going to be able to beat this dude after having a car accident. I don't care who he beats. This guy is the greatest right now. You have to get your body to that peak performance prior to the accident. There's so much that you lost out of your body after being through that much wear and tear. So and his face was rearranged, bro. Like he was almost pronounced dead, bro. You know what I mean, in that accident. So it's like, yo, like that wasn't just no fender bender, bro. That was a lot. And like he said earlier, like about the brain damage, like it could have been, yeah, exactly. Like that could have been crazy after, coming after having that concussion after that, you know what I mean, and brain damage from that trauma to get in the ring so prematurely. He got in another accident? So it's like, yo, like what is he doing? I would not have took that fight. That was ego, bro. That was ego and pride, bro. Cause like we know, like that was a super fight. That was a fight for the ages. It was supposed to be a 12 rounder that was like, yo, like they gave it all they got. Yeah, no, we wanted that, but we wanted a 12 rounder. We was thinking out of both of them, like it was gonna go the distance. It was gonna go the distance. And in my opinion, it was gonna go the distance. prior to the car crash. It was gonna go the distance. That to me was a huge deciding factor in him even being a boxer again at the same level that he was at.
Everybody thought he was stronger.
Yo, when you fight a boxer that's not as skilled as you are, and you still look at it like that, like, yo, like,
thinking you're stronger than somebody, and then they run up on you, and then they push you like you're nothing, my nigga.
but I'm not talking about Terrence Crawford. I'm talking about you.
Errol Spence.
Yeah, I'm talking about
After he got pushed,
you fighting. No, but I'm not talking about Terrence Crawford. I'm talking about when he fought those other guys that gave him the opportunity to get in the ring with Crawford. Until you fight somebody like at the level that you was at. He wasn't ready to fight Terrence Crawford when he fought those dudes, and he fought those dudes and beat them, judging them off of that. Those dudes was not on the level that Errol Spence and Crawford was on. When Errol Spence was healthy, they wasn't on his level.
Yes, they were.
No, I disagree. I disagree. Only because
Sean Porter was on. Sean Porter almost beat what's the name?
Prior to injury, hell no, nobody was on their level prior to his injury.
Did Sean Porter fight him before the injury? I think
This nigga was undefeated. They were both undefeated.
Yeah, Sean Porter was undefeated.
But that's what I'm saying. These dudes was
Terrence Crawford and Spence.
But that's what I'm saying. These dudes.
Porter wasn't on their level. You're bugging because he almost.
I'm saying no, he wasn't because he lost. But anyway, what I'm saying is that these dudes were the peak in that division. Yeah, turn that off. That sounds crazy in the shit. They were at the peak in that particular weight class. So it's like there was nobody close to them, in my opinion. He could be dangerously close, but this nigga just got into a horrible accident and beat him. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm judging it off of that, but I already felt like they had to fight before the accident. After the accident, I was like, man, damn. You know what I mean? That's what I said. People could talk about their levels regarding each other. Because he's got the heart of a champion, he's never going to say, well, because of my accident. But, yo, these dudes don't talk about certain things when they get injured because their pride. They want to do this. They want to get back in the ring. They want to keep doing it. They still feel like they're able to do it no matter what. And so they have to prove that. They're not proving it to us because we already think that these guys are the best of the best. They're proving it to themselves. So he's going to get in the ring and risk his life pretty much because he knows he's not at peak shape to perform at that level, regardless of him beating these other dudes. And I'm not saying that these dudes is trash, but I'm saying that this dude was a fucking beast. He was a hound. So this dude was already a problem and then got into this horrible accident. We can't just brush that off because this dude got shot when he was 9 years old or however old he was when it happened. He's been boxing ever since. He had plenty of time to get himself back together or get himself in shape. This dude is trying to fight this dude that's the top dude in his weight class not more than 2 years after this horrible accident. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's a lot on your body. You got to get yourself mentally capable as well as physically capable to perform at that level that you performed prior to that. And it's just like the way that our bodies work, it's just not possible to do it. You know what I mean? To be on that level. But, you know, like that, I think that was still like, you know, a good challenge, you know what I mean, to see. And we still enjoyed it. But with Claressa Shields and Ali, highly subjective. But I'll say this, in my opinion. I feel like only because Claressa Shields has done what no other has, I will give her more of an edge in her being younger if she fought Leila in the prime, because that's like battle tested. You know what I mean? You're fighting people that you're changing your body to fit the archetype of who you're gonna challenge next. So that's a lot of wear and tear on your body, and a lot of male boxers that have done it. You know, it's been a lot of wear and tear on their body. The closest to come to it was Roy Jones, and his career plummeted after that. You know what I mean? So we think about like, you know, it's not an easy feat to accomplish. It's not something that you could just like brush off. Like, yo, that's crazy, right? But then it's like you've never seen this ability. So it's like, wow, so you never seen that. So the argument, just like the argument with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, it's gonna go on forever. We're holding on to somebody being a champion for as long as they've been a champion. Claressa Shields has to be a champion longer than Leila, been challenged longer than Leila, and not be beaten to retire her career to be considered goated. But she's already accomplished enough to be considered. I'm about to land right now. She's already accomplished enough to be cemented as a leader in the sport for females. But the only argument that I have is I can't necessarily say that she's better than this person, because this person did accomplish what I thought was unachievable. You know, to be an arguable champion in the female version of the sport, and now you see something new. You know what I mean? And like I said, LeBron versus Jordan. It's two champions in two different eras.
My only little sub argument to that is, let's not devalue having 3 belts in 3 different divisions. That alone is an accomplishment that is very hard to do, and it gets slept on. That alone is also something that Leila Ali arguably couldn't do. We don't know. Arguably. All I'm saying, I'm not saying it's cemented in stone that she couldn't do it, but I'm saying it's arguable that she couldn't because she didn't. You see what I'm saying? And that just solidifies GOAT status. It doesn't solidify, oh, she's just at a high at her game. No, that's GOAT status because nobody else done it. When you set the trend and do things that are legendary like that, that should separate you from the people that are doing things that have been done.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Oh, what? Why you trigger her, bro? You shouldn't even have said it, bro. Just like, but yo, like, the thing is like that. It's okay to you know, label somebody as a GOAT and then say somebody is the greatest in that era, because you got to understand that the greatness is a reflection of what's already happened. So it's like, yo, this new person has done it and brought it to new heights. There's always going to be records that are going to be broken or whatever, but you can't take from anyone. You know what I mean? So you can't take away nothing that Claressa Shields has done. You can't take away anything that Leila Ali has done, because she's paved the way for other female athletes like Jackie Joyner-Kersee, and you can't compare her to what's the young girl now. You know what I mean? That runs track, you know, with the orange hair. She's super fast, but someone broke barriers so other women could challenge that. Or Marion Jones, rather. You know, Marion Jones was also, you know, pretty talented, but there was still Jackie Joyner-Kersee who broke barriers. Probably hasn't broken as many records as Marion Jones, but broke barriers so that there could be a Marion Jones and a Sharif was
But you know what that kind of reminds me of?
Shari Kari, whatever.
It's like the debate on the battle rappers, right? It's like Cassidy is legendary. He started like a trend of punchlines, more punchlines, more metaphors into the battle rap scene. But that doesn't make Cassidy the best battle rapper ever. Even though he promotes himself as that, even though he is the energy of that, and he's rightfully so into thinking that, but he hasn't been battling, so you can't just be the best because of your prior accolades. You see what I'm saying? You have to get in the ring and test that talent with the new generation. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you think about it?
Now, what you said about the battle.
So I agree to an extent what you're saying. It doesn't make him the best because he started a certain trend or something like that. That has nothing to do with shit, right? What it is being a champion. And we talking about champions. So when we talking about accomplishments, what makes people goated is the art of not being defeated. So I will give him that. Having the art of not being defeated in that particular field will inspire others to try to be as accomplished as he is. And if no one can surpass him, then I can't, to the victor goes the spoils. There you go. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Yeah, so if you like 5,001, somebody else got to get 6,000, or 5,002 to be the GOAT. You know what I mean? So you could still beat him. I mean, well, he could be lying, but it's so many people that so many people that say, so many people in the industry and so many people in the streets and so many people. It's too many people that saying like, yo, this dude did it. So it is what it is. Whether people believe it or they don't believe it, because we don't have the footage. I've heard him go against other people. He roasted every single person he went against. His mind was too phenomenal at that time when he was rapping. He was saying things that hadn't been said yet. Now these things are being said in a wide variety. So he was able to defeat everybody because it probably was 5,000 original type of things that nobody has heard yet. Now it's kind of regurgitated. I'm pretty sure my favorite punchline artist of all time was Big L, and most people that understand rap would know why. That was a time where to know how to throw your words together and be able to do it real smoothly, not just doing it, just doing it, but having that cadence, the music that's listenable to, like people want to hear it. Oh, I want it. Not only that, this dude's spitting, but let me hear what the fuck he talking about. He's saying some shit. So there was that. But, like, I'm not saying that, well, I can't argue about him being the best battle rapper ever because I guess it's theoretical. I guess that's what the argument is because people haven't been there. But that argument can go with anything. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really say, oh, well, I wasn't there because the dinosaurs exist, all this other shit. And that's speculation because who's the best if you beat 5,000 people? Out of those people, we don't know who was the best. But what we've heard,
we know he battled disaster. We know he battled disaster. He beat disaster. We know he battled goods. I believe he lost that battle. We know he battled Arsenal. I believe he lost that battle. We know he battled Hit Me and Holla. I believe he won that battle. So, like, just by that track record alone, that's 2-2. I don't believe you went 5,000 or or what can the competition really be if you went 2-2 with the modern era now? I don't know.
battle rap is wrestling now. It's not like battle rap. When I grew up, when I was in the ninth, I got the mic. When I was in the ninth grade, or when I was like in the eighth grade or whatever, and I'm about to be 40 years old. So it was really, people will hurt your feelings because it was real, and a lot of times they didn't respect people that would come up there and say that this was a freestyle and they really wasn't. You just acknowledge that, yo, this is written, Now it's like now everybody knows it's written, whatever. But it's entertaining. You wait for a crowd's reaction and all of that. Before it was like bar for bar, you eating this dude up, and you in his soul, you in his eyes, you talking to him. You're not trying to get the crowd reaction. You just want him to know that you better than him lyrically, and let him go against you lyrically, and then you see who's the better person. A lot of it is, we're grabbing from the crowd, like 106 in Park days. Like you actually had to be ill to do it, because you would have to pick that person apart in a clean way. So you actually had to be thorough, because the people that's listening to it is people that's in the industry, and they're the people that's going to decide whether or not you're good enough to win this battle. So they're listening to it and they like, yo, he ate them up. You know what I mean? And then the crowd is actually going nuts because you didn't even curse one time. You didn't say one expletive one time, and you still eating them up. You know what I mean? So when you talk about people that battle people on the radio and spit some stuff on the radio, like I've heard so much of Cassidy over the years that I can't argue about him being better than most of these battle rappers, because we can't really even say that there was really battle rap. Because one of my boys loves Cassidy, and I always argue about this with him. But I'm a fan of I was a fan, because I'm a fan of bars. Like, it is what it is. So I was a fan of him when I was in high school. Maybe when I was younger, I got really introduced to him when I was at a young age. So I was listening to him because it wasn't really a lot of people that was spitting like that, but it was all mixtape stuff. It wasn't nothing commercial or whatever. But when we talking about battle rap, we not talking about music. We talking about battling another person. So that's what I'm talking about. The crowd, that's commercialization, bro. When you really was eating a person alive in the ring, you was like just talking to him. If you stuttered or you sweat or you whatever, wipe that sweat, bro. I could see you hurt. You know what I mean? You really was. It's crowd control, but you had to learn it. You had to learn how to do it. So at that time, they had them in basements, and they had them in spots where fights break out. And they had them in spots where it was no security, and you never know who was in there with a gun. And it was real. It was legit. You know what I mean? That's how these things were at that time. But now it's different. Like I said, battle rapping is wrestling. He has to learn their art from like watching it and trying to see who it is. So he pretends he doesn't know who the top person is and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he watches it because he's examining it. He's seeing like, yo, I could be a part of this again. It's like Ali retired at a certain age and was like, yo, I'm gonna come back and box a little bit. That's what he's trying to do. He's still trying to show that he's still great, and I can't knock him for what he's done. He's brought more people to it because of his name. Arguably, his success is helping their culture to build up more, but he didn't start battle rap. Battle rap's been going around since fucking rap started. You know what I mean? It was different. It was corny back in the day. I'd be the first to say it was whack. You know what I mean? It's some culture shit, but like, let's be honest, like, that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear somebody spit. You know what I mean? So the hardest thing that we started with was like in the 80s when it was the KRS and the MC Shan. That's when we really like, we really was like, yo, this is what it is. But now we got people saying crazy shit that's making you think. You know what I mean? And rest in peace, Past Day, because he was nice too. But yeah, like it's battle rap now. It's wrestling. It's all about entertaining the people that's watching, but people that love that heart of it, I want that in the basement. I want the Lions Den. I want that real. You know what I mean? The Smack DVDs. I want that. I'm not gonna get that anymore. I'm gonna get wrestling. So go ahead.
Yes, Cassidy is a beast, like you said. It's wet. Cassidy is a beast, like he said. Cassidy, the problem. He do be spazzing. He got bars, but he don't make good songs. Like he only had the songs that came out. He wasn't really spitting. Those was like You wanna come to my hotel? Like it was party, feel good music. It wasn't. Yeah. But when he really spit, he just be spitting. He don't have no hook. He don't have no. He just be rapping around. And I don't really listen to battle rap, so I don't know about his track record when it comes to battles. I know who Hitman hollers. I don't know them other people. And Hitman be spazzing too. That was a good matchup, but I don't even think I watched it. But I think they did say that Hitman won. But well, no, you said Cassidy won that. Well, Hitman is good too. He beats spazzing. But yeah. But yeah, Cassidy, I don't know. I there's other battle rappers like Conceited be spazzing.
Conceited is more like that.
Yeah, with the wordplay and the rhyme schemes and stuff. He'd be like, "Ball," and I'll lay you up. I think that. Yeah, it would be. You hear that, you guys? If you're out here watching.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be one for the ages. But yeah, man. Our culture, yo, like it's crazy. Our culture is a magnet for everybody around the world. Like just like we talking about battle rap right now, like it's so many things. Hip hop is a whole thing, and that's ours. Like we could actually be happy that is ours. Like we don't care. There could be an Eminem and what's the other dude name? It could be anybody, you know, G-Eazy or whoever. But this is still black culture. Hip hop is black culture. It's a lot of stuff that we have that we really don't, take acknowledgement of it, and then be like, oh, music, hip hop is for everybody. Hip hop is everybody. Everybody uses it. Everybody does it. But this is definitely our culture, and we take it and run with it because every damn day it's a new rapper that's out here coming from one of our inner cities, making a new way to say what we say. You know what I mean? These young artists that are coming out here, the Nardo Wicks and, you know what I mean, the NBA young boys and all these other young dudes that's coming out here, like Lil Babies, whatever. They got the game on smash because the directions that they take the music and doing different things with it, it's another way to look at it, and it's an expression of where they come from. So it's like that's what the music has always been for our culture, for black people. Like anybody that's coming from the hood, they always had the ability with some type of rhythm to do something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. And it's just like music it just flows with us. Like, you know what I mean? In all different forms. But hip hop, when that was created, like, I mean, I don't even know if it was any other better form to express for dudes that don't be wanting to sing and shit. You know what I mean? Damn, I could say some shit with just talking. You know what I mean? Like, and I could talk about what's bothering me, and I could make it rhyme, and nobody ain't gonna be mad. Oh, fuck it. You know what I mean? But we do live in a society where people are sensitive, so you gotta be careful what you say. But damn, when rap was raw, bro, what really was raw, yo, it was crazy. It was really crazy. This nigga. Was you Raw or SmackDown? I don't know. I fucked with SmackDown. SmackDown era was lit. Cause The Rock, he was in the Attitude Raw shit. He was in that era. But I'm telling you, cause WCW was lit when the Raw era was going on. Cause I was messing with the WC. Yo, you know what was lit with WCW? The damn luchadors. No, the Mexican wrestlers, yo, they was bananas, bro. They was better. Yo, then we came out with the Hardy Boys in the WWF. But the Mexican wrestlers was crazier than the Hardy Boys, though. Some of the stuff they would do. Yeah, Rey Mysterio came from where, though? Right. Yeah, it came from WCW. all of them, Billy Kidman, WCW. All the thorough luchadors came from WCW because they was close to Texas and shit. All the motherfuckers came from over there, yo. They was beasts, though, yo. I used to love watching that on Saturday, man. Being a kid was dope, yo, watching wrestling, yo, because Glacier, oh,
The contact, and he looked like Sub-Zero.
Yo, it was lit. I remember, yo, me and my bro, I used to go to his crib and we would play Monday Nitro. Yo. Bro, Monday Nitro, yo. I used to always beat him up with something, like get some, yo. Everybody. The Wolf Pack. He used to love creating people, yo. He used to always create some characters or something. Oh yeah, Harlem Heat.
We coming for you, nigga.
Harlem Heat. Yo, you know what? When I found out about Booker T, because when I found out about Booker T, I was a Rock fan. I was a fan of The Rock when Booker T was going on. So The Rock was in WWE and Booker T was in WCW. So Booker T, like, it was like, damn, like, he kind of thorough. He do like a similar move, but this dude do a scissor kick. Like, that's kind of thorough. Like,
Call it the Harlem sidekick.
yo, he was a beast, bro. He was a beast, yo. And when he got to go against The Rock in WWE, that was lit. He went against The Rock for the first time. We was like, yo, who's gonna win? And he did the booking, and then he did the rock bottom, and then he did this, and then he was like, all right, the people's elbow. That was the end of it. They had to let The Rock be the victor, yo. But he was a 5-time champion, yo. 5-time WCW champion. The Rock, he's the people's champion. Everybody liked The Rock. He was the most charismatic. Yo, don't get me wrong, Booker T was charismatic.
Not at first. Booker T was always charismatic.
Oh, you talking about Stone Cold?
No, I'm talking about Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah, when he was with the Nation. Oh, okay. No, but yo, the most influential wrestler of all time, it's got to be the Heartbreak Kid, bro. It's got to be it's either the Heartbreak Kid or Bret Hart. It's either those two.
I give it to
Hulk Hogan is arguable. No, but like with wrestling, but like with wrestling, like, okay, so Stone Cold been in wrestling for a long time. The people that been in wrestling for a long time that people ain't really know about was there for a minute, and they changed to a different character. So The Rock, like he said, like, he was corny. Stone Cold, he was corny. He worked for the $1 Million Man. Right, he had hair and shit, so he wasn't the rattlesnake, you know what I mean, that he became. So he turned into that. But before that, it was Shawn Michaels, it was the Hart Foundation, and it was Hulk Hogan, Hulkamaniacs, and then it was Undertaker. The Rockers, yeah, when he was with Marty Jannetty, but then he broke up. Yo, I know too much about this, yo. Listen, wrestling was lit. When the Coliseum was here in New Haven, I went to see wrestling one time when I was a kid. I remember going to see it one time with my pops. And I never forget that experience because I was lit. Because I always... No, it was before that. This was WWF. No, WWF. World Wrestling Federation. No, it wasn't WWE.
SmackDown?
Yeah.
I thought it was WWF.
Nah, SmackDown was WWE. Yeah. And it wasn't all that other shit. Like when I went to the Coliseum, this was Jake the Snake, fucking Tatanka, all these motherfuckers. Like, this was way before all these different shits that we got right now with wrestling, TNA and all this other shit. I don't know when the actual change, but it wasn't a SmackDown at the time. Because I used to get the games every time they came out.
2001, right?
I don't know. I know I was in high school when SmackDown came out. SmackDown came out, I remember every Thursday. Niggas was watching that. But it was the WWE because...
So wait, was the Attitude Era WWE or WWF? Because I thought the Attitude Era was WWF.
I don't know. Because I remember, like, before that, because it was the World Wrestling Federation a long time ago when this game called Royal Rumble came out. That's, like, back in the day, before Kane and shit. Yeah, this was a long time ago. So, like, Attitude could have been WWF, but it could have been transitioning. Because when WCW came out, it was still a WWF. But when Attitude Era started, there was an integration of characters from WCW that was jumping ship coming to WWE or WWF, whatever they were. Because Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon had a beef or some shit. It was something about business because WCW was like a branch of WWF. You know that, right? Like, Bischoff worked for them, and then he made his shit, and then he got the ownership of it. And yeah, 2002. I don't know exactly when it came out. I know it had to be before 2002 because I was watching SmackDown in high school. So I know, like, I graduated from high school in 03. And I was watching SmackDown when I was a freshman. So it had to be 99. SmackDown was like 99 or some shit. So then maybe it was WWF when SmackDown came out. Yeah, that was WWF still. Yeah, for a few more years. Yeah, that's crazy. SmackDown been around, cause I remember more. See, this is why I like SmackDown era because I was a little kid in the Attitude era. I was a little kid. I was younger. I was a teen during the SmackDown era, so I really was like tuned into it, like, cause now like SmackDown was like when they started to get like a little more darker with wrestling, like it was getting a little more like adult. Cause they would have the hotties come up there, and the WWF divas and shit. It'd be a lot of shit. But I fuck with SmackDown era. But I can't fuck with Attitude era because Attitude era is when The Rock was meaty. That's when Stone Cold was whooping his ass all the time. But in the SmackDown era, that's when The Rock was the man. But Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler. If you didn't know by me talking about The Rock, yo, I always was like favorable Shawn Michaels because he used to do crazy shit, and he was the only person that wasn't scared of the Undertaker like that in wrestling. Everybody was scared of him. Even Hulk Hogan was scared of him one time. Oh, Mankind was crazy. Like, Mankind was thorough. Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Dude Love. Who was his best persona? Dude Love, Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack was just a tough guy. Like he would always have a 2x4 with barbed wire wrapped around it. Come to the ring with that. Always be trying to hit somebody with that. He'll bite you. His move was a little more dangerous. He did a double arm DDT. Yeah, Cactus Jack was just violent. Mankind was violent too, cause he stick his hand in your mouth and stuff. Like that was kind of wild. But yeah, I don't know, man. But yo, let's talk about the give us free situation. Who we talk about? Melma, the new president of South Africa, Melma. my boy know more about this. You ain't rolled it yet? Yo, you should roll it in the other one, cause it's a smaller amount. It's inside there, yeah. So it's got the aroma, everything. It smells like bananas. Yeah, man. We in the building, yo. We in the building. Yeah, I went to play ball today, yo. That joint was crazy, cause I'm kind of out of shape. Like people be like, "Oh, yo, you skinny? How you out of shape?" Listen, I'm out of shape, bro. Like straight up. So we go to play ball, and I'm telling you, like I be getting what you call it I kind of get like inspired when I see other stuff. Like if I see another basketball player do something, I'd be like, oh, I think I could try that. Now, outside of like, I don't have the athleticism that I had when I was younger, so I probably can't do a 360 windmill. I mean, no. What are you talking about? No, I'm just saying, like I do a 360 layup or something. I do something crazy. I didn't always make them. Like if I'm doing it because this girl's sitting over there. Let me try to do something crazy. When I'm playing in a game with my people, I'm not gonna do something that they're gonna be mad in the car the whole ride back. Like, yo, why you do that, bro? You know you don't do that. Why you do? Nah, but if I could dunk at will, you know what I mean? Then yeah, I never really had to do that. Like I always relied on my speed. Like I was always very fast, and I could control the ball to a certain extent. So I'd be able to move mad quick and be able to lay anybody. People that could block, people that's like 6'7", whatever, and be able to go to the hole and go past them because they was tall but they wasn't fast. Until I get older and people are tall and fast. NBA level type dudes. But I still played to my strengths. My strengths was my speed, and I did have hops. I had pretty good hops when I was younger. So I wasn't a dunker. So I don't want to say I had hops, I was a dunker, but I was able to get rebounds over people that was 6'7", you know what I mean? Yeah, tall people. It's about positioning. To get rebounds, like you gotta understand, like Rodman wasn't the biggest or the tallest guy, right? But he was able to get rebounds over these 7-footers, yo. You know what I mean? Oh, we got a special guest pulling up. He just hit me up online. He said he on his way. That's one of my boys. He could tell you I'm not lying, yo, cause I held my own on the court. But my boy, I ain't gonna say his name. I'm not giving him no clout. But my boy was going sick. You know what I mean? But huh? I mean, he wasn't like doing nothing really. He was just shooting. Like that's his thing. That's what he does. He's a shooter. So he was out there. He was hitting some threes. You know what I mean? He was doing what he do. And oh me? Oh, I was impressive a little bit. Like look, like at one point, like, cause it's a new court. I'm not a pure shooter, right? So it's a new court, so I gotta adapt to the new court or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm near, and I'm hitting them. Either it go in, or either it swish, or it don't go in. There was no bouncing. There was, you know what I mean? I hit 2 bank shots from 3 that I meant to do. You know what I mean? One I didn't mean to do. Nah, it's single rim. It was single rim. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. Like, I learned how to play ball on a triple rim. At Bassett, they had a triple rim. When they had the cage when I was really little, I think it was like a single rim or whatever. But after that, they put a damn triple rim up there. So if you don't hit that junk in, if it don't swish, that junk roll around, it's coming out, bro. It's just too many. It's too many rims in that shit for you to not just sink it. So, but a layup don't hurt. You know what I mean? hit somebody with a layup. You don't gotta hit all threes. But I've never been really like a shooter like that. But if I have to take a shot, I'm not afraid. And I'll shoot on a tall person, whatever. Cause a lot of tall people think you're not gonna shoot in their face because they tall. That's the most embarrassing thing, yo. Like if I hit a three on a dude that's like 6'8" and he ain't block it, that's dope. I don't gotta dunk on you, yo. I could just hit that shot and be good, like. But yeah, the good thing is that, you know, we got our heart rate up. We got some fun. The kids beat me a couple times, so just to show you that I'm not that great, the kids beat me. But we was playing knockout, so let me just say that. Like, we was playing a game, the kids would not have beat me. I repeat, the kids would not have beat me if we played in a normal game, because I still kind of got a little bit of sauce. Probably not all the sauce, but I got a little bit of sauce. But yeah, my legs didn't catch up with my body in some cases. You know what I mean? So that's a soundboard. That shit's dope. But yeah, man. But yeah, we had a good time. Got to work out. What happened?
So, you know the Jamaican artist that sings
Yeah.
He just got escorted out as Gino Jennings, you know, the pastor that speak like this? Gino Jennings?
Nah, who's that?
The black pastor, Gino Jennings? Y'all never heard of him?
It's a black dude?
That's Mr. Vegas. He was trying to get the mic, and they was like, no. They was tweaking. Why wouldn't they give him no? And then they was trying to, you know what I mean, from behind, say, yo, get the fuck up off me. And then they just grabbed him, bro.
Why they ain't want Mr. Vegas to say nothing? That's crazy. Mr. Vegas? That's crazy, bro. That's discrimination of a African American. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that's what be happening in the place of worship sometimes, man. They be cutting up. Yo, so you know more about Melma. Like
I don't know. I just heard about it recently.
But what exactly do you know about? Because I don't know anything about it. Like that's breaking news, bro. Like,
yeah, I don't know if he's the new president of South Africa, but I know he's a politician in South Africa that holds a lot of power out there, and he's very public with his opinions about America and Elon Musk, and you know what I'm saying? Because Elon Musk is supposed to be from Africa, and you know. His opinion is Elon Musk is hating on him, and he don't really care about us, like as a people. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. I mean, you know, Elon Musk is a smart individual. I think he can make life a lot easier, but I don't think he's allowed to in this country. And you know what I'm saying? No, 100%. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Even a fair shot. Like I really.
what they say, no man should have all that power.
Even a fair shot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So, you know.
I think that's crazy. That's groundbreaking. Yo, I hope not, man. Don't speak it into existence, bro. I know that we live in a nasty world, and there's gonna be somebody from some type of government that's gonna want to silence this guy and not gonna want the uprise of our people. But we have to think about this, that somebody's gonna protect this guy. Somebody's gonna make sure that this guy does it because we lost too many of them, and we always keep saying that. We always keep saying that. We need somebody to hold us down, bro. We need somebody to hold us down and protect us. If Africa embraces, because that is the largest continent. Am I incorrect? Africa's the largest continent, so it's like if we all the black people in the world, this is just like, whatever. This is like a fantasy fairy tale, whatever. But all the black people in the world come on one accord, which we can't in America, but we all come on one accord, and we're like, yo, we're gonna go to Africa and we're gonna raise crops and because Africa has everything. We go there and we start a life there, like they did in Snowfall. Right? We go there and we start a life there. If we do that, then we'll be able to take over the world, kinda.
They wouldn't let it. At mass,
There'll be there'll be so much stuff to like stop us. But I'd be like, yo, like at least to make an attempt. At least to make an attempt to do it, and probably not do it in droves, but do it like, online. People set up trips, and people set up trips here and there, and then start planning, start putting items there and building there, and then make plans to migrate at some point. But it'll be crazy if we finally do come to power.
Like when I hear about like the apocalypse and these beings trying to live underground to avoid some type of apocalypse and shit, I think about like the story of Noah's Ark and like what happened to all the beings that were on the planet when the flood happened. Like where did they vacate to? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, this story is just being told over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying? And I think the moral of the story is you have to have the type of faith that Noah had, a blind faith. Like, yo, you don't know what's gonna go. You just have to feel it. And if you don't, then you're gonna succumb to the waters, or you're gonna succumb to the circumstances. Cause that's you know what I mean? That's what they try to put out there. There's aliens out now. Everybody knows it. It's aliens, right? But nobody's tweaking. Nobody's. How could we not? It's the government is telling us. It's not like some conspiracy theorist is telling us that. The government is telling us there's aliens out now. So how could we not believe it? You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like. But then it's like, yo, it's so crazy because. What about all those people that said they had certain encounters and yada yada yada? Now are they credible? And if they are credible, it's like, yo, y'all lied. What would make us believe in a system that clearly lies to keep the population under control? Like, I like this.
This is right up my alley, conspiracy theory. So the alien thing, like it's not. To me, I don't think it's like no Men in Black type of thing or something like that. I think that's entertainment to get people wearing aluminum foil hats and stuff like that and get people going crazy. Mass hysteria type of stuff. People's imagination runs wild with them with these ideas because it's like, it's exciting. It's exciting to think. I do have a theory. My theory is that life does exist on other planets. I believe, probably not every planet. There's probably some planets that are uninhabitable or whatever, but I believe that there's planets that there are inhabitants of life, and they use whatever tools they have on that planet. They rely on it. They probably have streams, rivers, etc. All of this stuff. They probably got land masses and stuff like that, because we can only go so far to see what's out inside the beyond. We can't go too far and be able to relay information. We don't have the capabilities yet. We don't have enough supply of food to make the trip there and the trip back successfully, and oxygen and things of that nature. We don't know what'll happen in space. So these people have to be trained and trained and trained again on how to engineer and fix this on the fly while you have no gravity and you're floating in the air. All the stuff that you've seen in the movie Alien and all these different movies. People, like I said, people imagination runs with them. But as a man of science, like I am a man of science, as a man of science, I know that there's only so much that you can do. There's only so much that, me and my boy had this argument earlier, there's only so much data that we have within a certain time span of history. So everything else prior to that is theoretical. You can make a theory of what possibly happened, but it's a subjective argument. It's not objective because there's nothing concrete to hold you to that. Only in some aspects it could be faith. In some aspects it can be an artifact that has a timeline that we can't actually quantify. Like we can say it's around about 1,000,000 years old, or maybe about 1,000 years old, or more than 1,000 years old, or more than 1,000,000 years old. But there's no concrete data to tell us that this is exactly this or exactly that. So it's more of a speculation. It's more of an educated guess. These guys are educated and they're guessing, building theories, right? So you have to decide as a human being, as an individual, which theory am I going to entertain? Am I going to entertain the theory that life exists and we know about it and the government is keeping it from us, or entertain the theory that life exists and there's some things that the government doesn't know about, but there's some things that we don't know about? But when we see things in the sky, it could be anything. But when we see things in the sky doing crazy stuff, we're like, yo, what is that? There's so much technology that I'm aware of that we have right now on this planet that a lot of people don't know that we have. So I already know we have cutting edge, but we don't have things that can travel light years yet. We're not there yet. So whenever we get something that can do what you see in Star Trek or something like that, that people can buy at Walmart, I don't think that we're anywhere close to what we believe. And nobody would come here to this planet to really be influenced by anything that we have, because we only have, like a lot of astronomers say, music. I'm done right after this. Music and mathematics. That's the most crazy thing that we've created, that, you know, outside of everything else. We haven't broken sound or light barrier, speed barrier. So that's my only take on it. But go ahead.
I'm starting to believe that light years is bullshit. I'm starting to believe light years is bullshit because it's bullshit, bro. I believe the sun is closer than they say it is. I believe that the moon is closer than they say it is. I don't think that they really went to the moon. I think that shit was all I know it's a conspiracy theory, but I think that shit was all under a studio. Or if they did go somewhere, they probably went underwater. Because at the end of the day, like, this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of this shit is a known lie. Like
some people were saying about that they were underwater because you could tell how, or they weren't really in space because the way the gravity was, like, it wasn't how they were moving around. They wouldn't be. It looked like they was underwater. And there was like a video. Somebody was showing a video of like when they said they were in space and how it looked, and they were like, "This is fake. They made this video and made you think," because you could tell they wasn't really upside down when they were floating. Like nothing was. It wasn't right. It wasn't matching. Like if you would be floating in the air upside down, the way it should look.
I've heard several theories about that. But I'm like I said, I'm a man of science. You know what I mean? I watch X-Files, the whole, all 11 seasons of the X-Files. I love it. It's entertainment, though. You know, at the end of the day, I separate what's entertainment and what's reality. And when I look at it, I say, like, yo, there's a lot of smart stuff that you can learn from watching X-Files, but there's also a lot of BS that you can get from watching X-Files. So a lot of it is like folklore, a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't really entertain. But like some of the stuff that they talk about are stories that I heard because I used to read a little bit. You know what I mean? So I used to read a whole bunch of different things. And some of these are stories that I'm familiar with, different depictions, the Jersey Devil and all these other different creatures that we've heard about in history. I know about the Chupacabra and all this other stuff. So seeing it on TV was like bringing anime to live action, or the Lion King being real animals now, or something like that. Like that's what it really was for me, more so than me just like, oh yeah, now I know the truth is out there. Like I already felt like I was weird because I thought that there was a such thing as all this other stuff. And I just recently watched what was the name of that movie? The Third Encounter. The Third Encounter, which is crazy because one of the people that's one of the main characters on the X-Files was in The Third Encounter. Huh? An Encounter of a Third Kind? Yeah, that movie. And what's his name? The guy that played in Terminator, I forgot his name. He played in Terminator 2. No, Terminator 2. Everybody knows his name. Terminator 2. He was the guy that his arms was turning into blades, and remember, his arms was turning into blades and stuff. His arms was turning into blades and stuff. The dude that played in Terminator, you seen Terminator 2? That dude. Yeah, the cop. That dude. I'm gonna remember his name. It's something Patrick, but I forgot. But anyway, he played in the X-Files and mad episodes of the X-Files. But Patrick Stewart is the Professor Xavier. But something, John Patrick or something like that. But this dude, JTT. I don't know, something. But anyway, this dude, he played a very convincing role in this Alien movie, and then think of it, years later, he's playing a starring role in the X-Files. So it's like he went from that alien abduction to actually being on a show that's revolving around alien abduction. So it's like maybe there is, like, because of the correlation, maybe there is some type of, truth to it, that maybe the government does have some knowledge of it and withholding it from us, and there's a secret organization that's whatever. But the difference in the movie is the nature of it, the nature of the abduction, because they go through the third kind, because there's different series of the abductions. There's the first encounter, the second encounter, the third encounter, and the fourth encounter. Right. The fourth encounter is when they visit you after. So it's like you don't want, and then there's a movie called Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, right? And that's with what's her name that played Resident Evil. Her, yeah, the crazy name, right? Her. That role was crazy because that was based off a true story, dealing with the Brown Mountain Lights, which is another. That's another reason why. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's too many sightings. People always talking about, but people want to be famous, and people have wanted to be famous for years. Like, somebody had a smudge on their window and said it was Jesus, the second coming, and stuff like. You know what I mean? There's so many different things that people say to become famous. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Can't entertain every crockpot, idea. You know what I mean? But some of this stuff do be true. Like, it could be like, yo, like, they probably really was whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But it, like, some of them be stretching. But some of that stuff, like I believe in aliens. I do. I just don't believe aliens are here chilling, like having a discussion like us. if an alien is out there, if you're watching this podcast or if you see it, make a podcast, bro. Just make an alien pod. You know, not like an alien pod, but make like an alien podcast and talk about alien shit. And try to entertain us with your alien shit. Because they probably look at this as like, you know, these humans are so stupid. You know what I mean? Why do they think we don't exist?
I think it's possible that aliens do exist, but I also think it's possible that they might have information like CC classified case or whatever of what stuff that's got here, like spacecrafts and stuff like that. But I don't think they really. I believe that they didn't really go there themselves, because even though we've advanced a lot, I don't believe that we have. Like, and then it's like they could tell you anything they want. They could put anything on camera and on the news, and then just because it's on the news or you think, but they could tell us anything. And I feel like the government is just corrupt.
I have a conspiracy theory. What if, Nyla? What if the aliens were conspiracy theorists too? What if there was like aliens that like humans? Is like, oh, I want to meet humans, but we can't meet humans. Like, but I believe that they're real. They're really out there. They're really beings that live in air and shit. And they, you know what I'm saying? What if they're like that? And we're thinking they're so advanced, but what if they're just like us? What if all the creatures that we think of in those regards, like vampires and fucking mermaids and fairies, what if they were just like us?
I think that they're like the man who fell from Earth. If you watch that TV show, if you didn't watch it, watch it. I think, Nala, you better not jump up on that table. Don't do it, because I see you. Don't do it. You better stop. If you watch the man that fell to Earth, I think that's how aliens really are. I think a lot of the movies that they make in these TV shows be derived from real stuff that's going on or that's going to happen. Like, they don't just be making it out out of thin air. Yeah, people could be creative, but a lot of the stuff has happened to a degree that they've made movies about before it happened, and then it happened. So it's like, I don't know. They just they predicting the future, and they creating the future.
I think it's a possibility. Or I think it's a possibility that, yeah, it's likely that they could be another life form that's like not really advanced and they're stuck where they are because they rely on their gases and minerals to survive, like we rely on our gases and minerals to survive. So it could possibly be something to that effect. I don't know. I just think, like, because like I said, if they're able to get here, they've already figured something out that we haven't. They might think that, oh, we're an advanced tech. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying if they have capability to do something that we haven't been able to tap into yet, that's superior intellect.
But what if we could, but our government doesn't let us?
The government would be doing it, and
What if the government is doing it?
they
That's
could
what
be.
it's
I mean, like, yo, I'm not outside any conspiracy. Like, you know what I mean? I just have to see what would be different if they had the capability to do certain things. Like, to have the capability to do certain things. Yeah, but think about it. Okay, so I'll entertain your theory. So let's just say, yeah, possibly, right? What would stop anybody in power from taking over everything and having one leader? If there's some force that's able to do that, they can be in control of everything. Everybody can be stopped. We've learned that from history. Everybody can be stopped. Right, but with this type of tech that you're talking about, but this is what I'm saying. I'm entertaining your theory, but I'm saying with this type of talk, what you're saying is that, yo, maybe they do have this. Maybe they do. So whoever has it, all right, no, all right, okay, all right, cool. We entertain it. What's stopping one massive leader? And I mean, like, not the oligarchy or some shit like that. I'm talking about one massive leader that runs every fucking thing. There is no one massive individual that runs every fucking thing. There's groups that commune with each other. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the logic doesn't support your theory. Go ahead.
We're not gonna act like the United Nations is not a thing. We're not gonna act like the United Nations hold on. We're not gonna act like the United Nations don't have intel that the regular people don't. They don't have power that the regular people don't. So at the end of the day, if, like, hypothetically I was saying, if there was a border like the what's the name? What is it called? Antarctica. If there was an ice wall in Antarctica, and all of the UN knew about it, but the regular public didn't know about it, and they could go past it, they would have to make a pact as the country, as the leaders of their country, to say, look, this is what we know. This is the information that we know. Like you said, one man can't hold all that power, but all of the nations, all of the people in the nations at agreement, or all of the quote unquote powerful people can, bro. They can, and they do. That's probably why they don't talk about certain UFO activities in certain places. That's probably why, you know what I mean? You don't have to say certain things, especially if you claim you're a democracy, which we're not. We're a republic.
What you're saying about the United Nations, that validates my point about, there's no one individual that can have all the cards. But what I also agree with what you said was, yeah, the government has secrets. We never argued about that. My argument is the type of technology that we're talking about. You can have secrets, but if you have technology that can hold on, I'm gonna tell you, because I'm speaking on your points, that what we don't know or what we do know, but what we do know, right, is that knowledge is power, right? So if you got more knowledge, then more than likely you're going to be the more powerful out of everybody else, because you're going to outsmart them. But if you have actual power before you have the knowledge to control it, you might not have reason. And a lot of leaders that we've had that have had a certain amount of power have abused it because of their thirst for power and not understanding of certain things. Like, with great power come great responsibility.
Hey, thanks for the gummies. Hey, what you said? What you said? Hey, what you said? You said don't stoop to that low. What you said? Hey, come here. Let me knock your teeth out, boy. Big boy. Come here. Let me do my nerdy shit in peace before I beat your ass. What's wrong with you? These niggas think I'm weak or some shit. I'll beat the fuck out you. Walk away, white boy. Walk away, pussy boy. What's wrong with you, nigga? Nigga can't just be on some nerdy shit, bro, without some nigga coming up to me, bro. Make this shit go viral, bro. The fuck? That shit is annoying, nigga. God damn. Fucking pussy boy. I'm just trying to be a nerd in fucking peace, nigga. God damn. Hey, it's me, Mouse.
I don't really care for the texture of it too much. But what I was saying was, like, with the whole idea of, like, these secrets that they're having. Yeah, of course, the government has secrets that they keep from the public, but the argument about a certain type of power, like there's power that you have where you have the power of. There's power where you have power of the type of.
Look at Nikola Tesla, bro.
Yeah, you have the power of knowledge. And you have the power of
knowledge.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. You have the power of knowledge.
Free energy that they shut down.
You have the power of knowledge
in the 30s.
and understanding or whatever, but you don't have a massive power to like be able to destroy everything. You have tech that can, that could probably rival other people that have technology, but you don't have something that can. You don't have something that can that can like scare people to be like, oh, I'm afraid of them. Somebody can just take you out. When I'm talking about alien tech, I'm talking about something where I could shoot this person. I could shoot this person with this laser and they could vanish, and I don't even have to like.
I think they got that.
I think they have certain things, but what I'm saying is they don't have enough to be like, yo, I'm gonna be able to take all of these people out right now with this. All we have is nukes, which a lot of people have. If you watch the movie that just came out, Oppenheimer, check it out if you don't know who Robert Oppenheimer is. He is what they consider the godfather of the atom bomb, right? The whole story about knowledge is power, what I was saying, but there's certain knowledge that is outside of our comprehension. So like if they have something like some crazy teleportation device or something like that, they'll be able to seize enough. That in the wrong hands would be devastating. You know what I mean? In the wrong hands. But with the right leader, yeah, that'll work out. But the right leader is gonna be just and gonna allow a democracy. Like that's what I'm saying. A person that has a crazy amount of power and being able to like I can destroy everything if I want to will probably be like a super villain, like Dr. Evil or some shit. It's not normal people don't really know how to manage a certain type of power without being a bully about it. And that's just how you see it. So like if we did have something like that, like what we talking about, we would either capitalize it as Americans, probably make money off of it, or we would figure out a way to fucking monopolize it so that we have control over everything because we have this resource. Right now, America heavily relies on every other country. So I don't believe that we have access to the tech that we're talking about, but we might have some tech. I just don't believe that we have the tech. We got atom bombs, but we don't got what they claim. We have the bomb that goes inward. What's that one called?
Turned around. So
I forgot what that's called. What's that? It was in the Da Vinci Code movie, the last one. Devils and Demons or something, Angels and Demons. What?
Turn the camera around so you can see.
We ain't even start yet. He rolling his shit.
He said he wanted to be on.
Yo. Yeah, but what's the next topic that we talking about?
Boosie versus Tekashi 6ix9ine and what's it called? Kodak Black.
Boosie, what did Boosie do?
Boosie was disappointed in Kodak because Kodak made a record with Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was like, bro, as a street nigga, you shouldn't have did that.
This is about to be deep.
You know what I'm saying? Can I just give my 2 cents? Because I don't got a lot. I just feel like at the end of the day, I understand where Kodak's coming from. He's a businessman now.
and that was an easy million. And he was talking shit about him. He called him a rat on the song. So I don't know. Like at the end of the day, like you're gonna run into people that are gonna go against the street shit that you believed in the industry of music. So if you are completely a musician and an artist, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But if you're a nigga that values street codes and ethics and shit like that, then I felt like it was wrong. You shouldn't have did that shit, because at the end of the day, it just shows that you're willing to sell out for your principles, and that's not good.
You want to go next?
Yeah, so if you're a civilian, then those rules don't apply to you. You can't be considered a snitch if you're not in the streets, living that life, catching bodies. You're not a trap star or nothing. You don't have to follow those rules. But if you're living that lifestyle, there's a code that you have to live by. So, and you is supposed to stand on that. People might look at you funny, but then also it's business too. Like don't have a personal relationship with this person. That don't mean keying with them. You could work with somebody and don't agree with their values or the shit that they do, but you give the paper. And that's part of that street mentality or whatever that you gotta at some point you gotta let that shit go. Like it's like why are you still even in that type of mindset or whatever, and you're on a whole nother level. You shouldn't even be about you're making money. So if you want to make a record with somebody, like you changed your life. You're making money legally now. You shouldn't even be a part of that. So like I said, if you're a civilian, you should be a civilian now. You shouldn't still be living that street shit and following those rules. You don't have to do that anymore. The purpose was to get on, to make money, to eat. You doing that now. You don't have to do that. So you don't have to follow those rules.
So you don't see nothing wrong with it?
I think,
you ready to chime in?
In my opinion, you don't have to follow those rules.
Sure, this is a good topic.
You shouldn't, but he's still in between. He's still dabbling in the street shit, and still.
That's it. No, and I say that on the mic.
That's what I mean. If you're still in that living that life, then yeah, you. But I'm saying he shouldn't be. Like this is the problem. Like people don't know how to evolve and change their mindset with it. That's why Von ain't here, because he couldn't leave that street shit alone. He gotta be gangster, he gotta be the toughest or whatever. Like when you at a certain you lost, you forgot what you was doing this shit for to begin with. You don't gotta catch a body no more. You don't gotta so you don't have to follow those rules. So fuck him snitching or whatever. It was stupid. All that shit was made up anyway. He wasn't in no gang. All that was a persona that he did just to get his music out there or whatever. So he's not even about that or whatever. There was a whole documentary about 6ix9ine or whatever, talking about his fake persona that he created so he could be famous as a rapper or whatever. But that got him in some shit, because you want to pretend to be somebody that you're not. But like I said, if Kodak Black is still living that lifestyle, even though he doesn't have to and he shouldn't be, then he should follow those rules. I do believe, I'm not like that, I'm a civilian, but this is what you agreed to be a part of. So how you gonna half-ass it? But you shouldn't still be doing it, like I said.
The funny thing is, right, because the stuff that he talk about in his music goes against him doing a song with him, but it's funny that he called him a rat on the same track. That right there is kind of it's yo, I'm just doing this for bread. I don't care. And he made reference to that during the track. He made reference that, yo, I'm just doing this just to get the bag. I'm not doing this because I like this dude. This my favorite rapper
my colleague, yo, this is business, bro. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that. But the other thing is what people is doing in the industry is people not looking at rap as like street stuff no more, really. They looking at rap as like entertainment. So when people, if they like the song, they're gonna listen to it. I haven't heard it, but I'm not listening to it because he did a collab with him. I just don't really like 6ix9ine. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean?
But you like Kodak?
I don't even really like Kodak like that.
You like Kodak?
Nah.
Oh damn.
But no shade, cause he's one of the top artists. Like people like him, but he don't talk about. He don't say nothing that I can really like. You know, resonate with really. You know what I mean? And his music, like sometimes he make his stuff that be a hit would never be something that I would be like, oh yo, that's fire. You heard that new Kodak? Like I don't get that type of. You know what I mean? And that's cause I like more East Coast type of stuff. But I'm not saying that he needy or nothing like that. It's just not my type of music. But neither one of them are. You know what I mean? And 6ix9ine is just loud.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just loud. He just yells and screams and talk about shooting people and you know what I mean.
There's a bunch of lies.
But I mean, he was with people that did that. But my whole thing is like the reason that people call him a snitch because he involved himself in criminal activity. He might not have done anything, but he was with them when they went to go do it. So that makes him party to it. Like if you don't want to be down with that, don't be around it. Like stay as far away from it as possible.
Nah, he put a hit on nigga on camera.
I mean, so then there you go. So that's what I'm saying. That's how you say somebody is a snitch because he put a hit on somebody on camera. That makes him a snitch. You know what I mean? And then this dude doing a track with him. Boosie's knocking the dude for doing that. That's only if that messes up his image. Like Rick Ross.
Does it mess up his image?
I mean, I don't know. For his fans,
does that mess up Kodak Black's image?
For Kodak's fans, that's for his fans to decide, really.
Yeah, that's his image. He's a gangster.
Yeah, you know what his image.
Because his fans gonna be like,
yo,
yo, Kodak, why you do that? But yo, it's about the bread. Yo, it'd be like, yo, it's about the bread or whatever.
This is all about the money.
But at the end of the day, he's still a snitch to me. I don't even care. Civilian, whatever you want to call it, he's still a snitch. And I'm mad people still support him if they really feel like that. My thing is this, like, I'm not no street person like that. I'm not gonna say that. So I still don't like snitches. And I'm really not that. I try very hard not to call the cops. Matter of fact, I don't call the cops. Like, you know what I mean? Like I really don't. Like, only time I had to call the cops is if something crazy happened, somebody got killed inside my house or something like that, I would have to call the cops, right? Because I don't want them thinking I did it. So I have to call and, you know, whatever. But as far as them, like, I don't like to deal with them or whatever. They're supposed to protect us. But I've had bad experiences with police officers. So I don't really like them like that. But I know.
Listen. We on the move like I need